на берег, то девочки радостно станут, и мы начинаем рассказывать про разные трудности моря. Но хватит, забыла сирена, и мы быстро прыгаем в воду. Мы жить не привыкли на суше, мы любим нырять и купаться, аквалангисты. Это хорошо, да, и взрослые знают, и дети. Мы радость творим на планете, аквалангисты. Это не игра. Меня укусила акула, тебя укусила акула, ее укусила акула, да нас всех укусила акула. Аквалангисты, это не игра.
Motherfucker was amped. The nigga was motherfucking hyped up. The nigga just grabbed the nigga, snuffed the nigga, and it was on from there. The motherfucker, it wasn't nothing stopping them.
What the rest of these niggas do?
Man, the motherfuckers was ready for anything. The niggas was packing burners. The niggas was ready to fight. Whatever they had to do, Holmes. The niggas was on the real flip mode, Holmes. They was coming out like a motherfucker. The nigga was amped. He was like, come on, motherfucker. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Yeah. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Release the brainstorm to make your motherfucking brain warm. A strange form, something kinda lyrical. Biggie the bastard, so that's kinda spiritual. Well, in God we trust, guns I bust. Got that disgusting suicide thumping. And do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that I bring? I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8 38s, 9 9s, 10 Mac 10s. The shit's never end. You can't touch my riches, even if you had MC Hammer and them 357 bitches. Biggie Smalls, the millionaire, the mansion, the yacht, the 2 weed spots, the 2 hot clocks. That's how I got the weed spot. I shot Tread in the head, took the bread and the lamb spread. Little Gotti got the shotty to your body, so don't resist or you might miss Christmas. I tote guns, I make number runs, I give MCs the run stripping. When I throw my clip in the AK, I slay from far away. Everybody hit the DECK. My slow flow's remarkable. Peace to Mateo. Now we smoke weed like Tony Montana slipped the yayo. That's crazy blunts, mad L's. My voice excels from the avenue to jail cell. Oh my God, I'm dropping shit like a pigeon. I hope you're listening, spanking babies at they clipping. So you better grab your pistol, cause if you sit still, I'm gonna make your fucking shit spill. And I'm talking about buckets. Why did I have to do it? So I said fuck it. You got a gun, nigga, bust it. Cause I got more shots to pop ya. Big papa, breaking your own something proper. Sounding off is the hardcore rap singer, aka crack slinger, bring it anytime. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. 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 Oh, you wanna be hardcore with your hat to the back, talking about the gats in your raps, but I can't feel that hardcore appeal that you're screaming. Maybe I'm dreaming. This ain't Christopher Williams, still some MC got the feel one, cats I got the feel some. To let niggas know that if you fuck with big and heavy, I get up in that ass like the wedgie. Niggas saying Biggie on the street, it's a miracle. Left the drugs alone, took the thugs along with me. Just for niggas acting shifty, sticks and stones, red bones, but they gotta kill you quicker. Especially when I'm drunk off the liquor. Smoking from by the boxes, packing boxes. Natural to eat your niggas like chocolates. The funk, baby. All I want is bitches, big booty bitches. Used to sell crack so I can stack my riches. Now I pack cats to stop all the snitches from staying in my business. What is this? Relentless approach to know if I'm broke or not. Just cause I smoke a lot don't mean I don't stripes in the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm sewing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? Huh, I'll see you later. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place. Play your position. Become my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket. Rob him while his friends watch it. And hoes clock it. Here comes respect. This crew's your crew. They might be next. Look at their eye. Big man, they never try. We roll with them. Slow with them. I mean loyalty. Niggas bring me milks at lunch. With milks with chocolate. The cookies. Butter crunch. I had no heart for most of them. Long as I got stuff for most of them. Soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box color make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabble in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina Medicinas, took my Ninas. From gym class to in glass, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in wasted taste. Ain't no telling when it's fell in his head. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. After realizing to master enterprise, I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterpart to how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes, others use injections. Syringe sold separately. Frank the deputy. Quick to grab my Smith and Wesson like my dick was missing. To protect my position, my corner, my layer. But we out here. They the hustler's prayer. Take a medicine. Put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid. Only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. See you chumps on top.
Sky's the limit, and you know that you keep on, just keep on pressing on. Sky's the limit, and you know that you can have what you want, be what you want. Sky's the limit, and you know that you keep on, just keep on pressing on. Sky's the limit, and you know that you can.
I just had to let this masterpiece finish playing to the fullest.
Be what you want. Motherfucker.
Well, I am feeling a little bit chipper, and it looks like no, Tyranny of the Shadow did not quite fix the text color on the chat. But anyway, hopefully I'll be able to fix this at another point in time. So, good evening, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is in your part of the world, and tonight we are going back to Shadowrun custom campaign, specifically Caldecott Caper. Now, what's a caper, you might ask? Give me a second and I'll tell you exactly what it is. Also get the game capture rolling, like so. Give it a second, there we go. So as to what the caper is, it's got several meanings. In slang terms, which we are going by with, means a goofy little joke, a prank, or a crime, or a ridiculous adventure, which I'm guessing is gonna be all of those things, considering everything we went through so far. And I am feeling pretty good about us tonight. Partially why I turned on that song, also partially because it fits the theme of what we're going through at this time. Our last time was over here, yep. Always look at the last time you saved. Still, that impromptu exorcism ritual definitely was something. I quite enjoyed it. You rarely see too much of a supernatural element when it comes to Shadowrun. Usually it's just cyberpunk. And it was a nice change of pace. Now, before we move on to the next adventure, let's chat a little bit with our current crew. So, Rafik, you got anything new to say? Great work back there, champ. I can always count on you to bring it in. How do you feel about working for the Megacorps? At first, I didn't really care much at all, one way or another. New Yen is New Yen, right? After Cora and I got together, though, we had some long talks about it. She hates the corpse and what they've been doing to the planet. We eventually decided that even though the corpse themselves are rotten, the people working for them aren't. Shiawase and the rest bring in all sorts from the East Bay. Janitors, secretaries, cooks, dry cleaners. They're just regular folks who are trying to provide for their families the best they can. Sure, they're supporting an organization that's poisoning the water and stealing our resources, but we need to blame the executives who make bad decisions, not punish the peons under their thumb. So, there's a lot of decent, hard-working people on those trains, and that's why I was happy to put my life on the line defending them. Not for Shiawase, not for Saito, but for people in the crossfire. And yourself, Alice? How do you feel about taking payment from the corpse? I tried not to think about it. I just focused on the job in front of me, not who was paying. He nods in understanding. You really are a true Shadowrunner. We don't see many no-nonsense people like you in the Bay Area. Ever since we decided to do this job, I've been thinking about how it will affect the other people there. Not the executives like Maniko Kiyonobu and Ava Montalvo. They might not even notice the loss of a few million new yen, and they've done so much to screw over Cal-Free that the thought of them getting irritated frankly delights me. No, after we pull off this score, they're going to fire everyone responsible for security on the train, or worse, sue them into indentured servitude to make up the loss. They'll slash the budget for the rail line in punishment and simultaneously demand more frequent service as compensation. When the dust settles, we'll have our cash and you'll have your skin, but Williams the porter and Barley the station agent and Pedro the concessionaire will be far worse off than before. Even though we aren't stealing from them, they're the ones who are going to suffer. I hadn't thought of it that way, and that would be technically true. Pedro is the guy who hooked me up with this gig in the first place. He found out about the opening after the previous runner was shot 23 times in the gauntlet. Granted, it was a crappy gig, but I still owe him my job. Barney and I chat at least once a week. He gives me a heads up on changes to the schedule and any special cars in the train. Without his help, I wouldn't be able to assist Cora's Haverville friends. And Williams once saved my life. I was on duty at the Walnut Creek platform when some chiphead snuck up behind me and stabbed me with a rusty butter knife. I would have bled out if Williams hadn't rushed me to an Alliance clinic. Of course, there are hundreds more little people like that, each doing their own little part to help things move smoothly, and we're putting every one of them at risk. There are lots of good people out there, but you can't help everyone all the time. Focus on the people you're closest to in life. Like Cora. That's very true. I'd go crazy if I needed to worry about everything bad that ever happened to anyone. That almost happened to me. Doing this will improve the lives of those I care about, and that's what matters. You and me against the world, Alice. We'll rob that damn train, and I hope that it doesn't screw over the innocents too badly. Hopefully. Now, how about you, Percy? Yeah? What's up, boss? You aren't originally from here, are you? What tipped you off? You never say hella, which is a very Californian thing to say. Right on. Gotta keep my pride. Ain't gonna find me conforming to stupid slang. I came here from the Central Valley, grew up near Sacramento, got the hell out of there a few years back. Just before the two of us first bumped into each other, actually. And yourself? Where do you hail from? As for us, I'm thinking we're local. Grew up around here. Wow, really? An honest-to-God goodness native. People like you are extremely rare. Almost everyone I've met comes here from somewhere else. And how do you like here anyway? Well, now we gotta do it. I'd like it more if I had someone here to pass the time with, but when I can find an attractive orc willing to give me the time of day. I know just what you mean. Every orc woman I meet is just so ugly and annoying. She suppresses an impish grin. Come on now, I asked you a question. Do you like it here? It's fine. People make too much of this place. Anywhere you go is more or less the same. I don't know. Have you ever been to Sacramento? Now that place is a stinking shithole. Maybe the Bay Area ain't all it's cracked up to be, but there are way worse places out there. Cough cough Kowloon. Myself, I've had a bit of an adjustment since moving out here. It's way more crowded than I'm used to, and I don't like that so much. What's the point of souping up a hot rod rig that can reach 300 clicks if the roads are so congested you can just run into whoever's in front of you? Fortunately, I installed a cow catcher on old Bessie, and now people know to get the hell out of my way when they see me coming. I used to hate the geography around here too. So many mountains and water, way too close to each other. Back in the valley, I could build up a nice head of steam and just blast ahead full power for hours and hours. Out here, you need to always watch where you're going. But then I figured, hey, make your problem into an opportunity, you know? So I learned how to make amphibious vehicles and add VTOL to my four-wheelers, and now, well, Diablo or the Bay ain't gonna stop me when I need a quick getaway. Plus, folks are pretty friendly to orcs out here. That's a nice change of pace from the valley. Nobody has much patience for humanists or the native Californians, especially if not here in Auckland. So yeah, Bay Area. Cool. What was it? About the Alameda job. Look, history is fascinating and all that, but you can't always focus on what's in the past. Like driving a car, yeah? Gotta keep your eye on the windshield in front of you and at the rear view mirror. Future's where the action's at. If it's ever important, we can talk about it. I don't see how it's relevant right now, though. So let's just smile and drop it, okay? Cool. Good talk, boss. However, it's a little weird seeing you out of uniform. Right. Uniform. That's a bit of a stretch. I wore, what, a gold badge? I think that was about it. Even that was more than some California Rangers had. They ain't exactly the most disciplined force on the planet, you may have noticed. Ooh, a gold star. Did they award you that for your stunning good looks or your winning personality? For perfect attendance, I had to trade in 12 smiley face stickers to get the star. It was totally worth it. I probably still have some Mr. Yuck stickers left over too. I should start awarding you one each time you use a corny line on me. Come on now, that was a good line. However, what was your time with the Rangers like? It had its ups and downs. Specifically, it started up and mostly went down. I was a ranger. As you probably know, all rangers are riggers. And as you may have noticed, most riggers around here tend to be men. Being a California ranger means being in a boys' club, and those boys sure love their toys. It was actually really bad. Come on now. I thought you would back me up on this one. Betrayal. The betrayal most foul. But I'll let this one slide. You know what? I think I will enable the secondary text shadow back, which was, let's see here, 255, 255, and 255. Like so. I can't back up your one rolls. God. I should have invested more in my charisma. I see the error of my ways now. I see the error of my ways. I was happy for the work, and hell, I loved what I did on the job. Chasing down tall evaders, splattering freaked out gangers across the pavement, hiring local strivers to patch up the road and keep things moving smoothly. But what went on back at headquarters, well, that was not so fun. Hey, have you noticed that I am an orc? It's true. She bears her very full set of teeth at you. Lots of riggers who grow up in the city or the valley end up believing that orcs ain't so smart. And they don't see many women tinkering with drones, so they assume we ain't so good at fixing stuff up. So I had to deal with their shit day in, day out, every time I met a new ranger moving through town. Hey, nice drone. Who built it for you? Who taught you how to pilot a UAV? I'd be like, actually, I did it myself, motherfucker. And fuck you for assuming I didn't. It just started to wear on me after a while, you know? Lots of other riggers show up in headquarters and none of them get challenged to prove anything. They just assume that some dwarf with a beard and tats is hot shit and that the orc chick is a poser. Even though my vehicles could run circles around his. Pisses me off. You feel her pain? Wow, didn't know you were a rigger too. Or a hot orc woman in life. Have I been living a lie this whole time? I guess I've been lucky. I don't often run into those attitudes. You must be choosing better company than I have. Things got more and more tense. I did great work in my route, but hated going back to HQ and never did much care for paperwork. There are lots of cool rangers out there, but also some real tools. And the tools started acting all snide and stuff. Claimed I wasn't a real rigger, said I was gonna take away all their toys, dumb stuff like that. I put up with it for a while, then got the hell out of Dodge. I love my vehicles, love what I do, and I ain't gonna let anyone ruin it for me. Now I wish I'd left years before. I've never been much for organizations or hierarchies. Just me and the open road. That's where I'm happiest. Even if I was an orc chick, you'd lose me with those lines. A betrayal most foul, yet again. And it's their loss. They could have had an awesome rigger in their corner, and they blew it. I know, right? And what do they get out of driving me away anyways? Were they intimidated or ignorant? Either way, screw them. Is this gonna be a problem? I passed with the Rangers? If you made any enemies in that organization, I need to know about it. I like to complain, but it isn't like a blood grudge or nothing, and I'm pretty sure they've forgotten about me by now. I'm just another ranger dropout to them, and I'm not gonna waste my time and energy on some petty revenge scheme if that's what you're worried about. Alright, enough chatter. We've got a train to rob. See you around. Now, Sable, got anything interesting to say? Welcome back, Alice. I do so look forward to our time together. I hear that you're a good decker. You have heard correctly. I don't like to boast quite as much as other deckers do, but that's like saying I'm not quite as heavy as other trolls. So, I'll boast just a little and say that I am damn good at what I do. Like most talented keyboard jockeys, I got started as a kid. I was jacking into systems before I could ride a bicycle. On my first day of school, I snuck into the Intro to Networks class. I went home, hacked into the school system, and figured out who the toughest teachers in school were. I made sure to join all of those classes. It wasn't long before I found my way to Shadowland. It's impossible to know someone's rep from Shadowland alone. There are a lot of posers and plants in there. But I've seen it evolve over the last few decades from a den of wannabe script kiddies to the chaotic meritocracy it is today. What handle do you use on Shadowland, if we ever find time to read it? But yeah, I did go through times where people felt I was too dumb to do something I clearly just did. Ah, that's of course unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate when that happens. I've used entirely too many handles. I tend to grow bored with certain personalities or tire of the flame wars attached to a particular screen name, and I move on to the next as the spirit moves me. Let's see. I think I first logged on as Krogdor. Then the Toll Troll, not too subtle about my real-life identity, but also not exactly detailed enough for anyone to track me down. I may have overcompensated after them and spent several years posing as Maria M. People would get so mad at my boasts of penetrating networks, especially when I followed them up with proof. After that, I was the real Maria M for a while, just to screw with people. Then Nadir, and currently, as you have probably guessed, I post as Sable. Not terribly original, perhaps, but it's a nice blank canvas for me to work with. You must have done more than just chat. Oh, of course. Shadowland is just a place for people to boast and let off steam. No real work gets done there. I have several conquests of which I'm particularly proud. Ares Macrotechnology was my first big score. I still remember the day I broke into their R&D subnet and got an early peek at the specs for their revamped Alpha rifle. I have to say, though, Megacorp networks really aren't as interesting as most people think. Granted, they have massive IC and their data is valuable, but it just isn't that much fun. I wanted to do something a bit more interesting after that, so I went poking around in Tir Tairengr. Never really got to the heart of any Council of or Princess stuff, but that whole place is so mysterious, I was happy to find out everything I did, including some really intriguing connections between those elves and Zader Krupp. And besides that, I don't want to bore you. Dunkelzahn has some great stuff, but I can't help thinking it's a bit of a honeypot. Zurich Orbital has lots of really cool photos and much more data about extraterrestrial signals than they are sharing with anyone. And the Universal Brotherhood, yikes. Let's just say I stockpiled lots of bug spray after realizing what they were up to. Wow, you really are savvy. That's pretty impressive. Happy to have you on my team. But enough of my rambling. Did you have any other queries for me? Sable just became your fave, huh? Just because you posted as Krogdor. Wow, you are easy to impress. I say that not as a mockery, but as an amused observation. What did you do with all that info you found? I suppose that's the crux of it. I've always been motivated by the thrill of discovery. I like to seek, to explore, to find, but once I've answered my questions and solved the mystery, the thrill fades. I see little value in downloading paid data and hunting for data brokers to fence stolen information, or turning it over to the likes of Schockwellenreiter. I might inadvertently make matters worse, and in any case, disseminating information would greatly increase pressure on me. In fact, I've probably lasted this long because I've given those who run powerful networks little reason to fear me and my trifling expeditions. For me, knowledge is its own reward. Do you agree? You show a welcome humility in your attitude. Too many people assume they know what's best for everyone else. Ah, such kind words. That's a pleasant respite from the response I often hear from other deckers. Information needs to be free. Go forth and disseminate. At the very least, I feel I'm improving myself with each new discovery I make. It may be selfish, but I'd rather take the known good than the possibility of better things. Every day with you, I learn still more. Of course, my decking will remain the highest priority. I look forward to many more chances to prove my value to this team of yours. And thank you for that. This was payback for your betrayal. Maybe. Maybe. How about you, Cora? What do you have to say? How's the PU Matrix host holding up? Barely. I'm getting increasingly worried about how vulnerable we are. As the PU grows larger, we face more and more attacks from the Corps, and unless our hosting situation improves soon, I'm afraid we might be driven back offline. Why does the PU do so much online in the first place? In the early days, they used to hold informal sessions in meet space, typically in old University of California buildings. Saito hates the idea of public gatherings, though, and our teachers would get arrested by Marines or attacked by paramilitary thugs. When the meetings were held, the Corps would try and plant spies in the groups, which made everyone paranoid. The university started roaming around, hosting classes in members' homes or abandoned properties, never in the same location twice. That was safer, but cut off access for people like me who aren't very mobile, and made it harder to attract new students. In the Matrix, we are accessible to all and can be found by everyone. And as long as we stay free of Black IC, there is no risk of being killed while attending class. That's a good point. So who specifically is behind these attacks? It appears to come from thousands of sources, but I'm pretty sure it all traces back to Saito and the Corps, Ranraku in particular. We refuse to spread Imperial propaganda and we give people the tools they need to live off the grid. Both of those things enrage the occupying forces. What can you do to defend against them? It's a never-ending struggle. Most attacks fall into two categories, assaults on the PU and assaults on the host. The former type is endlessly varied. Disinformation campaigns, introduction of attack programs, social engineering, logic bombs, and wars. That's what a lot of my day-to-day effort is spent on, looking for unusual behavior in connected avatars, booting dangerous ones, and trying to trace them back to their source. It's the host assaults that really worry me, though. Ultimately, the PU Matrix host is just a box hidden somewhere here in the Bay Area, connected with wires to the global Matrix. If Saito or Renraku finds out where that box is, they can destroy it or cut the wires. When that happens, game over. The PU as a virtual entity will instantly cease to exist. So, can you move to a new host? I think we'll have to, but I don't know how that will happen. Hosts are expensive, and even if by some miracle a wealthy benefactor offered us one, I don't think we could accept it. The risk would be too high, and that it was secretly connected to a corp backbone, and that it's just a honeypot to entrap and destroy the PU. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. If we keep our current host, sooner or later it will fall to Saito. If we switch to a new host, we may lose to the corpse. The only solution I can imagine is some patron stepping up who is wealthy and powerful enough to be truly independent and has nothing left to lose in supporting our mission. But how many people like that exist in the Sixth World? More than you can imagine, especially if you look around. But good luck with that. Thanks, Alice. We'll need luck and more if we're going to succeed in our mission. Oh, and of course we can level up our companions. Let's have a look. Sable is a melee decker. Right now we can choose between either Hacker, augment skill decking and ESP control, or Slasher, which will augment his movement. I think I'm gonna go with Hacker on this one. And for level 3, he's got, again, choice between upgrade program suppression or augment attribute armor. Now, armor never hurts, so I'm thinking we're gonna go with that one. Level 4 is out of our reach for now. Looks like this one is a little stuck at the moment. Maybe if we reload? No. We're stuck here. So, Pepsi. We can choose between Rigger and Demolisher. Rigger gives her neural network. Percy slaves her embedded circuitry to her drone's processing units, effectively transferring her AP to a drone. Could be useful if her drone is just a little bit more powerful. Or Demolisher. Implant cyberware, laser designator. Percy gains an eye implant which makes the chosen enemy easier to hit. Always a good idea, but we already have a marked target on Sable, I think. Do you think he picked Trogdor because he got horns? Possibly. Always a possibility for that. Also, thank you for the follow, Mia. Hopefully you'll stick around and enjoy the show. Or maybe it's a bot. I don't know for sure. We'll find out soon enough. So, for Pepsi, I'm thinking we go with Neural Network on level 2. Level 3, what do we have? Rigger gains hardened drones. Percy slaves her embedded circuitry. Significantly increasing their armor, or double-barreled blast. Percy unloads with her shotgun, hitting twice in a single action. This could be useful. And as for Rafik here, we can choose between Man of Faith and Man of Action. Man of Faith gives him Gold Dog Wagon. Always useful to have a revival on hand. Or we give him Jazz. Drugs. I'd rather stick with Gold Dog Wagon. On level 3, we've got a totem upgrade, Grizzly Bear. Bear is with an upgraded AoE heal ability that reduces the cooldown from 3 turns to 2. Or Fan the Hammer. Rafi gains the ability to fire all bullets from his revolver in a single attack, flushing his target from cover but sacrificing critical hits. Lowers accuracy. I'd rather upgrade the Grizzly Bear. And yep, Gun-Toting Shaman, Rigger, Melee Decker. Quite the team we've got. Anything we can order over here? Let's see, weapons, chi casting, what do we have? We already got Killing Hands and Magic Resistance. What else do we got? Nerve Strike. Attack that does low damage but slows the target and reduces their aim versus Mana Fist. Powerful magical punch that pierces up to 4 armor. Shares a cooldown with other Mana Fist spells. Yeah, that sounds nice. I'll take it. Immediately goes into the corresponding slot. Can we... No, ranged combat 5. Maybe I will grab something a bit more melee oriented. We have a machete. We've got the spiked fist, damage 1, reach 1. That's nothing. Maybe a katana, but then again, Sable already has one, and that one requires close combat 3. M79 grenade launcher is interesting. Then there is AK-97, the most common assault rifle in the world. Samopal VZ-88V, checkmate. Ruger 100S, stock sniper rifle. Straight sweeper, makeshift homemade shotgun. Benelli Raffaello, low-end all-purpose shotgun. Beretta Model 70 SMG. Uzi 3, the most popular submachine gun in the world. And of course the pistols. Fischetti Security 500 and Cheshka Black Scorpion. I think we're good for now. On to our next stop, which is go to Haverville to meet the Phoenix. So naturally we're taking everyone. Sable, Percy, Rafik will have to wait this one out. While Haverville has grown more important over the years, this is your first time setting foot inside its borders. The local dwarves aren't exactly hostile to outsiders, but without chorus connections, the entrance would have been much more difficult. Your local guides navigate you through a dizzying maze of tunnels and corridors, plunging deeper and deeper into the earth. The further down you go, the grander your surroundings become, revealing the dwarves' increasing skill and confidence at work in the earth. Finally, you reach the Great Hall of Little York, the neighborhood where the Phoenix has begun making her mark. I got a good feeling about this one. But come on, game. There we go. Welcome to Haverville. We don't get many orcs down here. Glad to see that outsiders are taking more of an interest in our world. Have you been here long? I grew up in the Mission District in San Francisco. I fled the city when Saito purged most of the metas back in '52. Two of my siblings have lived here practically since Haverville began in the early '40s and had been begging me to come here for years. Now that I've arrived, I wish I'd left that awful place years ago. How do you like living in Haverville? It's great. Specifically, I like living, and Haverville is a great place to be if you want to stay alive. Ever since the Imperial Japanese took over the city, every meta has been living on borrowed time. Saito's Marines never hesitate to shoot us at the smallest provocation, and the Corps have no use for us unless we're busy shoveling their dreck. Sometimes not even then. Haverville is a refuge from all that. A place where we can build and play and grow, free from the madness of the world outside. You ever seen a dwarf named the Phoenix? Wow. Yeah, she blew into this place like a firestorm just 2 weeks ago and made sure that everyone knew who she was. She's been throwing herself into a campaign for Alder of Little York. I'm pretty sure she's talked with just about everyone in town by now. Oh, thanks. Good to know. Thank you. The architecture does look very dwarf classic. And now we can speak to prospective voters about Phoenix's perspective. Prospective. Well, if I can figure it out. Hiya, how are you liking Haverville so far? Seen a dwarf called Phoenix around here? Yes, she's been busy making up friends, and a few enemies too. She was arguing with some HPF folks loud enough for everyone to hear. HPF? The Haverville Protection Front. They're a group of dwarves devoted to maintaining the security and integrity of Haverville. I can't understand why anyone would dislike these folks, but something about them set the Phoenix off. Well, either she is a horrible judge of character, or they are up to some shady shit. Greetings! I'm a busy man, so if you don't mind, please excuse my interruption. I wanted to ask if you had spoken with the Phoenix. Oh yes, that young dwarf was such progressive ideals. I listened to her for as long as I could tolerate, which was not very long. And what can you tell me about the HPF? Ah, such a fine, dedicated collection of earnest dwarves. I'm afraid that many of our kind have become complacent over the years, allowing our vigilance to flag and risking the security of this place. We dwarves are a special race, you know. Saito and the Corpse and Tyr and the Trogs, everyone's out to get us. We need to stay focused on the integrity of our homeland if we want to be a Haverville. Thank you for your time. What do you have to say, Dyrene? Yo, sup? Has the Phoenix talked to you? She is one intense dwarf. She was wrapping up her canvassing here and was headed to, talk with the York family. The Tildens, wherever they live. Gotcha. Do they still keep a journal of mean people? Maybe. Oh, I've seen you run all over this place. Must be good exercise. Can you tell me anything about the Phoenix? She's not from around these parts, but seems very eager to make it her home. Not that I blame her. Haverville is a rare oasis of calm in the chaos of the Bay Area. Although I have to admit that calm isn't the first word that springs to mind when thinking about her. And what about the Haverville Protection Front? Something about them sets my teeth on edge. It's hard to say why. Whenever you talk with one, they make it all sound so reasonable. I mean, who could possibly be against the defense of Haverville? But, I mean, things used to be just fine, you know? It isn't like Haverville had a problem with invasions or sabotage or anything. They're beating a drum for something, and I just don't see the threat. Foreshadowing is a literary tool that will help us get to the bottom of this a little later. And finally, Lonnie. Oh, hello. What can I do for you? I'm looking for the Phoenix. What a pleasant young woman. Such fire in her belly. I think she's finished chatting with all of us local halfers. She was going to visit the Northeastern District visit some family. I forget who it was. And now we can go to Northeastern District, which should be, yep, that away. This one definitely looks like a less off part of town. And some unsavory elements around here. Well, I say unsavory, but of course that's a police mage over there. Move along, Gork. Huh, is this a murder scene? Sibley. But we're looking for where they were. Chabot, Tilden, Roberts, Tildens were the ones we're looking for. Knock knock. No answer. How about we break in? You quickly slip inside before anyone on the street notices you. Zoop. Help me, please! The young Gork is trembling in the middle of this room. His beseeching eyes well up with desperate terror. Shut up, Trog! What's going on here? They were beating on my pa, threatening to slice me open if he wouldn't leave town, and he kept saying, no, no. Then the dwarf woman came in and set them on fire, and I said, shut up! I can tell you want to do the right thing. Help me help you. Release the kid. It wasn't supposed to go down like this, was it? Oh, fine. It isn't worth it. Friendly warning, though. The rest of the team won't back down so easy. They're here to make me the tough choices nobody else will. The choices I couldn't. Dwarven supremacists. Now we've seen everything. Speaking of, ouch. Well, if you insist on being an asshole like that... Time to take out the trash. We do have two drones to take care of. We got Robodoc Mark II and Steel Lynx Mark II. So, Steel Lynx, you're up. Show us what you can do. And you can do some good, no doubt. Very good indeed. As long as you hit, of course. thank you for moving a little closer to us. Goodbye. There we go. Oh, and of course there's the HPF mage. So yeah, as we suspected, HPF are not exactly very good people. Or good dwarves, I'd say. Here we are, tit for tat. Let's see. There we go. Orc saved. We got us 1 karma out of this. Now, can we speak to you once again? Of course we can. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad to see another non-dwarf down here. It gets real lonely sometimes. Where's the rest of your family? They ran. Then the other dwarves ran after them. And that nice burning lady chased them. I think some of them are on fire now. They were mad but scared too. I felt happy to see how scared they were. Yep, Phoenix are not a fan of HPF. Did you know these dwarves? Yes, they pretend that they don't hate orcs, but they do. Orcs and trolls. It's been hard. The young orc seems to be in his late teens. He starts rocking slowly back and forth, clutching his arms across his midriff as words pour from his mouth. We moved here last year. My older brother got killed by Marines and my sister disappeared, and Dad said this was a good place for us to hide. Any place was better than out there, and Haverville seemed safer than most. The dwarves, most of them are nice enough, but they don't say anything. Just ignore us. A few, though, they kept coming around, checking up on us. They used to say that we smelled and were useless and should go back to Orkland, to our own people, and leave their place alone. Some welcoming committee. That didn't go over too well. Like I said, most dwarves are nice, and they like to say that Haverville is a place for everyone. They said Haffers are better than Saito, and they need to show it by welcoming us. That didn't fix it, though. Those mean dwarves, they stopped saying we were smelly and started poking around. Kept claiming there was a conspiracy, sleeper agents from Saito or the Corps or Tyr to map out Haverville, set off bombs, let the Marines in there and steal their tunnels. They never said that the agents were orcs, but somehow they never kicked any dwarves out of Haverville. Every time they produced evidence and tried to whip up a mob, it just so happened to be an orc or troll who was hurt. They're just inventing the risk. I mean, how could we prove that there aren't any sleeper agents down here? It's hard to prove that something doesn't exist. But I haven't seen anybody hurt by any agent, and I've seen plenty hurt by the HPF. And everyone they hurt has big teeth, just like me. If Saito actually had agents here, would he be sending orcs? I don't know. All I know is that those bad dwarves scare me. Yeah, this definitely would go in the book. At least in our case. So, what happened here? I think it was about the election. Dad was real proud of being able to vote. He was reading about all the candidates, figuring out what each one would do for Little York, trying to find out if any of them liked orcs. Those bad dwarves, the HPF, I don't think they care who becomes older, but they want to make sure orcs don't get to choose. So the elders won't need to care about orcs. They asked Dad if he was going to vote, and he said yes, and then they asked why he had a city pass, and he said he needed it for work. But they said he proved he was a spy, and he said leave us alone, and they said he proved he was guilty, and they started hitting him, and... Sorry about that, kid. That's when the dwarf woman came in, and she said, I'm the Phoenix, and I hope you'll vote for me, and what the hell is going on here? They told her to beat it, and she did not like that and started burning them. The rest of my family ran out. Most of the bad dwarfs chased them, and I hid, but one of them found me, and I was scared, but now you're here, and... I'll make sure everyone's safe. Wait, you need to find my family. They ran down into the tunnels. My dad works in the mines on the lower levels. I think he might be going there. But the dwarves know the mines really well. They'll find him, unless the Phoenix finds them first. Or you. Please hurry. Don't worry. We'll do our best. I have a sneaking suspicion that we might get attacked by those police officers we encountered on our way here, but let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Yep, not attacking us. Hold on, boss. My RCC is acting up again. Can I help? Percy pulls out her rigger control console, frowning as she scans the readout while flipping switches. Shit. Should have taken care of this back at the base. Never gave a damn have a damn soldering iron when I need one. I just need to reboot it. I hate to pull the old turn it off and back on again trick, but that's the best I can do for a field repair. She busies herself with the controls. A long time passes. You doing okay? What? She seems peeved, though more at herself than you. Sorry, boss. It's just that I need to depress the reset switch while holding both override buttons, and it's kinda hard to do with just 2 thumbs. Here, let me get at that button. Oh. Okay, sure. You lend a hand, and a few seconds later a chiming noise indicates that the reboot was successful. Wow, that was a lot faster than usual. I appreciate it. I've been running solo for so long I'm used to doing everything myself. Got pretty decent at it too, but I guess that running with a team has some advantages. I may need to start unlearning some of these old habits. Just give me the word anytime you need any of your buttons pressed. I'm perfectly capable of pressing my own buttons, ma'am. Of course, if you ever wanted to demonstrate your technique, I might be interested in a lesson. Huh? Huh? It's working. It's working. It is working. Okay, this thing is finally ready to go again. Don't worry, I'll patch it up properly the next chance I get. Now let's keep moving. Now, back to the mines. Or rather, forward to the mines. And into Haverville depths we go. Now that was Briz. On that we can agree. Haverville has never stopped growing. Whether motivated by need, greed, or pride, the miners are constantly digging downwards and outwards, opening the way for future residents and new businesses in their wake. Your team cautiously approaches the threshold of the big dig. The machines have fallen silent, their operators nowhere in sight. Your quarry lies somewhere down these tunnels, and the faintly echoing cries ahead warn you that they won't be easily flushed out. Yep, there they are. We should be able to deal with them. They don't seem particularly well armed. But there is a lot of them. Well, as much as a lot of them can be. Can I reach you? Not quite. I really need to level up my speed. Bubble strike? Not quite, so just running along. And activating Steel Links Mark II on you. It'll also draw some fire away, like so. Get him! Oh, you want to play it like that, huh? Fine. If you absolutely insist. Here you go. You, shaman, has become our priority target. Enjoy your respite. Yeah, that was a pretty good shot if you ask me. Ooh, nice. That Steel Links really is something. rest. Add another one. Down you go. 46% chance, not too much, but I'll take it. And I lost it, however. Come on, a little better now. Unacceptable. So down. Thank you. Down you go. Lynx, would you please? I said, would you please? You can do it, you know? See what I mean? You absolutely can. That was a good robot. You are. You are. What do we have here? Some rubble blocking the way. Nothing interesting here. Maybe we can move that one away. Well, what do you look at that? We have got enough strength to do that. Or we can ask Sable. But come on, look at ourselves. We're a big gal. Not just for you. Yep, another welcoming party. Unless... Looks like we got us some Trog lovers. Let's give them a good show of half our pride. No orcs come in our home. Are you sure? It's one thing to fight against saboteurs, but so far we've been the only ones wrecking things here. Grow a backbone, soldier. Those who refuse to join our fight are as bad as the enemy and deserve to die. The young recruit looks anguished. Hands tremble as they raise a weapon. If we have to, I just wish I could believe as strongly as you. Listen to your heart, you will understand. Shut up! Okay, I agree. That was terrible singing. No, she's right. I've listened to you for too long. All it's done is bring more hatred and suffering into the world. I'm going to do what's right for once. Very well. Die with your new friends, you race traitor. No, the robot will not be developing your praise, King. I won't allow it. But the robot will get his headbats as soon as he can. Maybe a little sooner than you might think. But that remains to be seen. Oh, we absolutely can nail you from here. Looks like I missed a spot. Highly unfortunate. Now, what do we have? Oh, flamethrower. Always nice to have. Also, you suck at aiming, you know that? Not like your friend over there. But we can fix that. We can fix a lot of things, you and I. Starting with your face. And an attitude adjustment. Complete. And we'll get to it in a second. Let's see. Just go here and pow. You are dead. No big surprise. Catch mana ball. I really gotta heal you up. Don't let you die on our first meeting. That would be Little unfortunate. One more shot. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Abso-freaking-lutely. And yes, we are murdering Dwarf Paul on this one. Or at least I think those are Dwarf Paul, in the sense that they're supremacists. Now, flamethrower. And some fists, which unfortunately get blocked. But nothing we cannot handle, even if you strip us of our AP. One more shot. Come on now, you can do better than that. Steel Links, clean up, please. That was hard. You did well. I think I need some time alone to think things over. Come and find me after. Sure thing. Get yourselves looked at. Some blasted wiring over here. Sable. You're up. What do we have over here? Of course, we immediately get greeted by ice. Par for the course. You know what this reminds me of? One Cyberpunk 2077 fanfic that unfortunately was never finished as far as I can tell. It was about a tech priest being transported over to Night City and fixing things up as best as he can. Unfortunately, if you're wondering, Pilar still dies on that one, so Becca remains brotherless. If I can remember what its name was, I'll post a link later. And yeah, that mage was a good kid. Realizing you get nothing out of sticking with bastards like this. Absolutely correct. Hey, no funny business. You hear me? No funny business. Or I'll sending you sleep to fishes. Shiver me timbers. See, Sable gets me. That one should be spicy. But nothing we cannot handle. Right. Hand into position. Ready? And we got us a pay data node over here. Construction contracts. I suppose we can sell that one. Reams of data covering the bids and awards for Haverville's latest expansion project. Or at least use it as good old blackmail. Fishes need love too, but not like this. Yeah, just ask any of your acquaintance fish VTubers. Hell, even a shark would do. Especially a shark. That's a pretty big arena for what was a smaller encounter. But maybe it's just here to get the atmosphere in that the dwarves do love digging. After all, as the sun goes, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Aha! Thought you could play without me? We've had enough, mad woman. You're a traitor to your own kind. I am a traitor? You fools are the ones ruining the only thing that's good about this place. Halferville for the Halfers. We built the city. Nobody will take it from us. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were an idiot. Who donated the Siesta Valley land? Darius the Troll. Who detonated the first TNT to break ground for Halferville? Samantha the Orc. It's bad enough that I have to put up with assholes, let alone ones who don't even know their own history. I take it you're the Phoenix? These days, yeah. I used to go by Dorby, then I met this dragon and, well, it's a long story. Maybe we can talk about it later when there are fewer guns in our faces. Let's take these guys down. Hell yeah. Gick her! Gick all of them! Hey, no shooting my face. I will get angry otherwise, and you won't like it when I'm angry. Maybe they built it in rock and roll, we don't know for sure. What do you have, by the way? Flamethrower 2 and Fireball 2. Always fun. Especially like that. Now that's a bit of a waste, of course. Let's patch myself up with that basic medkit and get ourselves into position. Hey, can you stop shooting me? I know I'm the juiciest target there is, but I'd appreciate it if I'm not getting shot at. Not buying that. Not buying that, huh? Fine. Guess we gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. That was embarrassing. Flamethrower. Another one bites the dust. And another one falls, and another one falls. Smells like victory. Good shot, keep it up. Oh, we are also getting flanked over there. Ain't that nice? Got a sniper over there, too. Oh, looks like that's the guy we were also trying to save, so I think we need to patch him up. So, Robodoc, you're up. Effective immediately. How far can you go? Far enough. We're gonna need to let these guys just come to us. That, I'm thinking, is the best course of action. Unless they want to argue. But they seem willing in engaging in the game of hot potato. Also, thank you for the new yen, always appreciate it. I do mean always. Or almost always. Depends on the source. Come on. We gotta get rid of you first. Obligatory. Ow, my face! Ow, my nose! Come on in. It's your master bedroom. Ow, my nose. I do love that Simpsons skit. So many timeless classics. Oh no, I'm starting to sound like a boomer. Woe is me. I am not a boomer, I am a proud millennial. Thank you very much. And if I am going to be lumped in with early Zoomers, I'm going to burn this place down to the ground rather than spend another minute with those animals. What is this? Not allowed. I'm sorry, sir, not allowed. %60 chance. There we go. Thank you. I was a goner for sure. Everything's gonna be okay. Wait, before you go, let me give you my pitch. Vote for Phoenix. Phoenix is grand. When it comes to doing the right thing, Phoenix will take a stand. Huh? Huh? Are you born after 97? No, I was born before 97. Would you like to hear about my proposal for new zoning ordinances? Or how I plan to lower our operating expenditures by using interest-bearing escrow accounts for capital projects? I'm much more interested in your setting villains on fire policy. Oh, that part's easy. Frankly, I'll do that even if I don't get elected. What's really exciting, though, is my idea for a reciprocal lending agreement with the Piedmont Public Library System. Look, lady, you got my vote, okay? Hell, I'll make sure you have the vote of every orc control in the Little York district. Have you seen my boy? We lost sight of him when we had to flee our home. Yes, we sent him to safety. Oh, thank goodness. Here, please take this. It's the least I can do for your help. So, you came all the way here to meet me, huh? Did you want an autograph or something? We need an explosives expert. Ah, this is true. I do love a good explosion. Or then, well, anything. And just what might I be blowing up? I have to warn you, I don't do pets or kids. Those are good rules to abide. Of course I'm a millennial. I always knew that. You're not saying me anything I didn't know. Probably a safe for lockbox on a train. Ah, so crime then. Interesting. I've tried to leave the crime life behind me, but I can't deny it is a lot of fun. And if I get to blow things up, tempting. I'll tell you what. Help me out with this election campaign of mine. If I lose, then I might as well take your job. If I win, then I owe you one. We can work out the terms later. Deal? Deal. Alright, shutting down Operation Burn All Dwarves, commence an Operation Elect Phoenix. I like her. So far, all of the characters we've encountered, at least in the... what was it? What's the word? Companions department, are good written. So, I've been thinking of raising an army. That sounds like a delightful undertaking. I could get so much more done with a mob of fanatics at my beck and call, willing to do anything their leader commands of them. The only problem is, most fanatics already have a leader. They're idiots following Claude Bouillon, or idiots following Saito, or idiots following Hestabai. I need some fresh idiots who will follow me. And if you're wondering who Hestabai is, let me pull up another article, this one on Shadowrun, just so that we are all on the same page here. This one goes under Great Dragons category. So, Hestabai, considered by many to be Lofvir's equal and opposite, Hestabai is the most magically powerful of the great dragons. She lairs on Mount Shasta and is or was a high priestess of Tyr Tairinger. She is very environmentally conscious and has well-buried ties to groups that the megacorps would call eco-terrorists. She is most concerned with her public image as a friend to meta-humanity, though. She goes by handle Orange Queen on Shadowland, and later Jack Point, and occasionally banters with the Laughing Man. She beat Lofvir and other greats in a shadow war after Dunkelzahn died, but she let Lofvir take the place of Loremaster even though it was hers to take. Lofvir also propositioned a maiden after she let him take the position, which would usually be the equivalent of a political marriage for dragons, but Hestabai thought it was weird because Lofvir is past maiden age. Yep, old Golden Snout has a thing for the Orange Queen. Awkward. Of course, then she got involved in another shadow war with him over how to treat metahumans. The more you know. Sable, you've traveled around a lot. Where do you think I could find some fresh victims, recruits? It feels like Calfrey's crazies are already claimed. Indeed they have. Let's see. Your best bet may be with places that have recently experienced significant trauma, where people's comfortable lives have been uprooted and they've been cut adrift. Yes, exactly, that's perfect. I can swoop in, provide material and spiritual comfort, then prepare them to do my bidding. Natural disasters are an obvious focus. Hurricane Ethelbert's effects are still being felt in New York City and DC. Or you can look for places like the CAS where metahumans feel their rights are at risk. Oh! Bug City. Lots of people around. Chicago are looking for answers, looking for a new home. Indeed. Who wouldn't want to come to Cal Free and start a new life, away from insect spirits and radioactive fallout, working for a beautiful and megalomaniacal dwarf? Precisely. I'll bring them out to Haverville, maybe start a re-education camp up in the Fertile Crescent, and before you know it, bam! Dorby's Legion of Doom will be a real thing. You might want to work on that name. It has a ring of menace about it. Right. Maybe Dorby's group of friendly helpers who just want to help you and definitely not enslave all who oppose her. DGOFHWJTWTHYADNEAWOH for short. Rolls right off the tongue. I love it. We don't use words like crazy around these parts. Megalomaniacal is the correct descriptive. At least as far as we are concerned. Before we go out there, anyone else looking for a fight? Of course there are. But they are guarding some new yin. So let's just grab that one. A basilisk, a scorpirine. Anyone else? I will be taking these. Especially that advanced medkit. That one's always handy to have. I wonder how many new yen there are to guarantee going into this encounter. Let's chance it. Oh, we can't save in here, of course. Fine, I guess we're gonna raw dog it. Sick burn, bro. Follow me, or rather, shoot me in this case. Yes, unfortunately, she said that. I won't defend that. It's her right to express herself in that case, however, she said that. Ow. One more. Almost. Kneecapper. Another kneecapper on Scorpion. And a regular shot, just so we're completely sure. Flamethrower. There we go. Everything is going on as planned. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Mana Fist. Regular strike. And there we go. Was it worth it? 230 new yen. It was not worth it. But at least we didn't spend any consumables on this one. Which is its own reward, if you ask me. Still, I'm certain the dwarves would appreciate us clearing out the tunnels a little bit. Yeah, it went better than expected. Super Tuesday. With the HBF's violent members cowed and Dorby in tow, you return to Little York. Polling stations are bustling, I voted stickers handed out like candy, and good-natured shouting regularly erupts between the candidates' supporters. Dorby fires up the crowd as you make your grand entrance, spitting tales of her latest acts of heroism. The young fire mage grows increasingly distracted as you approach the grand hall, and soon pulls you aside for one last huddle before the final push to get out the vote. Vote early, vote often. There we go. Alright, let me set the scene for you. This here is Little York, one of the wards in Haverville. I'm running for Older against Billy Buster, an incumbent who sympathizes with the Haverville Protection Front. It looks like it will be a close race and I can use all the help possible. I'm meeting with my campaign manager for some last-minute get-out-of-the-vote activities. It would be a huge help if you could canvass this neighborhood, try and convince as many people as you can to vote for me. I'll see what I can do. Thanks, you're a dear. When you're done here, come and hang out in this for our victory celebration. This is the first time I've ever set foot on Haverville. I hope you don't mind if I explore a little. Who knows when I'll get another chance. Fine. Politics really ain't my thing. I think I saw some gear in a shop near here. I'll catch up once it's time to leave. Yeah, get your rig replaced. Now, let me take a quick break. I'm gonna pour myself some water. And I'll see you in a minute. Maybe even shorter. No, you won't. No, you won't, because I am back. Foiled again by the Great Papyrus. Wait, wrong game. Foiled again by the Great Five-Finger Discount. Hey, game. You cut that out. Back me up on this one. Hey, got a minute? Sure. I'll make it worth your time, I promise. No harm in listening, eh? I see you're friends with the dear Phoenix. What's her name? Dorby, right? Right. Well, Dorby has some really nice ideas, but she's brand new here and doesn't understand all the intricacies of life in Haverville. I've been here for ages, and I'm a small businessman and a pillar of the community, and I'm here to tell you that Billy Buster is the best choice to lead us to the future. So you want me to canvass for Billy instead? Bingo. Billy might not be the most original thinker around, but that's a good thing. He is reliable, understands that Haverville is a wonderful place, and we need to keep things the way they've been. I'll be honest with you, Billy's probably gonna win this thing anyway. I'm just giving you a chance to get on the winning team. It will be a lot easier than convincing folks around here to support a carpetbagger like our dear Dorby. I need Dorby's help. Well, of course you do. Nobody's denying that she's one talented mage. The question is, who's gonna be more helpful to you? A mercenary looking for her next job, or a public servant who's constantly answering to her constituents? Look, I'm definitely not gonna tell Dorby if you throw a little help our ways, and you aren't gonna either. Console her when she loses, say what a shame it was, and then ask her to join your team. What else is she's gotta do? Why should I help you? Are you a fan of cold hard cash? I know that I am. My friends and I have a small slush fund that helps make sure people like Billy get to stay where they can do the most good. I'll slip you a little something after he gets elected, no matter how much of little you do. No drama, no fuss, just a simple fee for services rendered. No way. I admire a woman of principle, but don't forget to look after your own interest. My offer still stands if you ever change your mind. I hope you come around. So we either elect Dorby or re-elect Billy. I think I'm gonna help Dorby get elected. Oh, a customer. How incredibly lucky I am today. One day my coups will work. Maybe. Maybe not. It will work if you finally find the courage to, or at least hardware to join me in the VC at some point in the future. It just so happens that other customers have already bought out my entire stock for today. Yes, that's correct, which means I need to order more supplies and probably open the store again tomorrow. And keep on working. So you're a merchant here? Sadly, yes. What's worse, a successful one. I never have time to do anything fun anymore. It's always, sell me this and order that and managing inventory and... What issues do you care about? You mean politics? I hate politics. I just want to be left alone. Politicians are just as bad as customers, except they bother me even when they're all away from my shop. Well, I gotta try. Vote Dorby. And why on earth should I go to the trouble of voting? Because I said so. And I'll keep on saying it so until you agree to do it. Huh. Tell you what, I'll think about it. I'll get out of here. I have a wall that needs staring at. Well, that was easy. Just be annoying. And people will listen or try to kill you. Timmy! Come back here this instant! Oh, hello, can I help you? 5-finger discount. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Denlin. I haven't seen you around these parts before. Welcome to Haverville. What do you do here in Haverville? Some people would say that I don't do anything. I'm a homemaker, which is more than a full-time job. I look after the kids while Alice is at work, make sure the house stays clean, run errands, do whatever needs doing. Stay-at-home husband. Gotcha. What do you think are the most important issues in this election? Oh, definitely safety. We moved here because we wanted a secure environment for our kids to grow up. There's far too much violence in the world outside. Staying in our holes down here will keep us safe. I'd like to ask you to support Dorby in the upcoming election. I am leaning towards Billy, but I have to admit I haven't heard much about Dorby, other than this whole Phoenix thing. Why do you think I should vote for her? If Dorby sets up shop here, she'll be bringing in some serious muscle like myself. Your enemies will think twice before causing trouble. That's very interesting. I'll think about what you say before I cast my vote. Thanks for stopping by. I hope I'm making a difference. Next up. In the name of Durin, I welcome you to Haverville, the true home of the true dwarves. You sound proud of Haverville. Indeed I am. We're in New Moria, a modern Erebor, a contemporary thrall. Too many dwarves think that the solution to their problems lies in convincing the Taugholies that they're just like them. They get tattoos, crazy haircuts, mirror shades. But the path to greatness lies in embracing our heritage, in connecting with the dwarves of legend and making their world our own. What do you do here? I'm proud to be a smith as was my father and... Well, not his father before him. He was a sanitation worker. But I'm sure I'll pass on this legacy to my own son or daughter when that day comes. I strive to recreate the great artifacts of the Fourth World, to link our brothers and sisters with their ancestors of legend. We're dwarves. We should shout our identity with conviction, not whisper it in fear. You should vote for Dorby. Indeed? Why do you say that? Dorby has a magnetic personality, the kind that would grab anyone's attention. She'll be a magnificent exemplar of the best the dwarf kind has to offer. If you say so, I'll ponder your words before I cast my ballot. Now go forth and carry the tales of Haverville's glory to the nations. I certainly will. Also, I hope you haven't died of cringe from hearing my awful, awful Scottish impersonation. And if Carmine were to be here, he would have laughed his ass off. Onto the slums we go to convince some more people, I suppose, or see about the polling process. Means work, but one day. If only I could get me some more acting jobs. Or acting jobs to start off. What up, Holmes? What's going on with you today? Studying, it's like hell lame. I got classes at the PU and I usually just coast, but my new teacher is all retro with scantons and shit. Can't wait for this semester to end so I can take that trip to Shasta. What do you think of the current state of Haverville? It's totally dead here. This is like the one cool thing to happen in the last year and all the geezers want to shut it down. I gotta say, I'm pretty sick of being surrounded by the same damn dwarves every damn day. Please vote for Dorby in the election. Hell yes, I'm voting for her. We need some new blood around here badly, and she's just the lady to change things for the better. Well, that's nice to hear. No convincing needed there. And you, Viv? Hello, ma'am. Welcome to Haverville. You a resident here? Yes, ma'am, although I prefer to think of myself as a citizen. I've spent my life fighting the others' wars. I joined the call to push back Tier Tanger in 37, helped patrol the Mojave to show some resistance to Ute and Aslan, and recently returned from a stint near Reading to defend against Tyr's latest incursion. Ah, those damn elves. I finally realized that Calfrey is nothing to me. Why spill my blood when nobody in Sacramento would raise a finger to help me or my own? So I decided to come here to help build a community that actually matters. What do you think of life in Haverville? It's quite insane, which I welcome. The surface is filled with people who want to kill you. TRLs with machine guns, Saito's human goons, Orkland orcs slinging stems, Aslan blood mages. They all want to kill each other anyway, so why should we be in the crossfire? We can just burrow in down here and wait for them to sort it all out with bullets. I knew you'd say that. Would you support Dorby in the election? Doubtful. She seems like the type that would welcome the outside elements when we need to do the opposite and keep them far away. You need someone who can operate in the shadows between light and dark to keep the world at bay by engaging with it. Interesting. I'll take that into account when I cast my vote. Good day, ma'am. Looks like that's everyone. And our Shadowrun etiquette finally came in handy for this one. I may have stumbled into a decent build. Back to the polling stations, and let's see how the election race goes. Nice atmosphere. A little dead for now, but hopefully things get a little more lively after the elections are done with. And after tallying the votes, we find that the final results are as follows. For Billy Buster, 1,007 votes. For Dorby, 1,011 votes. Please congratulate your new older Dorby. Huzzah! We made a difference. That was awesome! I'm glad to see that the dwarves around here are such a cool group. We're going to do great things together. I'd like to think I would have won on my own, but, well, now I guess we'll never know. In any case, I appreciate your help. You got to be my minion for a while, and it's only fair that I'll be a minion for you. So yeah, Firepower is kind of a specialty of mine. You need something blown up? I'm the gal for you. And hey, I can do even more than that. You're working out of Cora's tiny apartment in Oakland now, right? We've got to get you out of there. I'm sure you're tracking mud all over her floors, and it's gonna be hard to plan anything big in Oakland without someone across the bridge noticing. So why not come to Haverville? The whole gang, I mean. We have some freshly vacated rooms for you, plenty of deep holes to hide any gear, and tons of escape routes. What do you say? That makes sense. Grab whatever you need from Oakland. Consider Haverville your home away from home until this whole thing is over. That's awfully charitable of you, Dorby. Thank you. You have a team, you have a goal, all you need now is a plan. Cora, Rafik, Percy, Sable, and Dorby have assembled. Ale flows freely as everyone mingles, making friends or at least learning how to deal with one another. Excitement builds, and all eyes turn to you as you prepare to get down to business. Not to defeat the Huns, but to rob a train. What do you say, champ? We'll need to get more detailed information on the train's security system. I can chat with some old friends in the depot, but I can't investigate too deeply without tip in our hand. At best I might be able to get some duty rosters. We'll need to get access to the Shiawase data stores to find out more. The really good stuff won't be available in the public matrix. We should be able to find high-security data like passcodes and emergency protocols, but those things are kept in isolated nodes only available from corp buildings. Have you looked at us lately? We aren't exactly the sort of folks who can stroll the streets of San Francisco. Nah, but we can crawl. Now that Saito has kicked all the messes out of the city, the corps built us bus in all sorts to look, cook, and clean and empty their garbage. That's right. Lots of agents from the People's University and October 25th Alliance disguise themselves as peons to sneak into the city. You just have to be sure nobody catches you there after dark. Saito's curfews are strict and lethal. I can get you into the city, no problem. Once we're in the facility, or I or another decker can find out what we need. I do hope it's me. I have some thoughts on hitting the train. You explained that the depots in San Francisco and Walnut Creek are far too heavily guarded for your team to penetrate. Five-finger discount is right. Those places are armed to the teeth, covered in surveillance, and run like clockwork. We might be able to sneak a person or two onto the train, but there's no way we'll be able to move major cargo off of it. Then the solution is clear. We will need to hijack the train while it is in motion between the two stations. Oh, is that all? Sure, there's no guards on the tracks, but once you're out in the open, anyone can see you. She gestures upwards conspiratorially. Eyes in the sky. Governor Moonbeam plus orbitals for all the major corps. Map in all motion on the planet 24/7. We make any move, it's recorded for all to see. Indeed. Then we will need to find a way to block the satellites. How can we do so? No way we can knock them out of the sky much as I'd like to. EMP burst won't reach that high. Magic, maybe? Illusion isn't really my thing. Have you noticed how nobody casts invisibility anymore? If not illusion, then how about occlusion, taking advantage of our environment? Cora points to a map of the train's route, gesturing towards where it crosses the Diablo range. Here. Of course, a Caldecott. What's that? A set of tunnels dug through the Diablo range. And that's why the campaign is called the Caldecott Caper. Get it? I hope you do. Caldecott used to carry traffic in the old Highway 24 before the Corps took it over to run their god-awful trains through. Haverville repaired the passage after it was damaged in the 48 quake, and now they run the tunnels themselves, charging the Corps a toll and kicking a share back to Sacramento. Anything happens in that tunnel, nobody's gonna see it who isn't there already. And it's conveniently close to our base of operations too. This sounds perfect. But what about the risk to Haverville? If a train gets knocked over on their turf, the Corps might use it as an excuse to invade this place. They've had their eyes on it for years. Let them come. Nothing like a little invasion to rile up the populace, get everyone on the same page, maybe start looking for a charismatic leader to give them orders. Do we want to give more ammo to HPF? Then again, what the dwarves don't know can't hurt them. I'm not sure if that's true. Let's review the likely haul. Well, we don't know exactly what the cargo will be. What? What happens if we knock it over and end up with 7,000 frozen soy burgers? I wouldn't bother using corp lines for anything cheap like that. It's gotta be a special delivery. At a minimum, they'll be holding a bunch of certified cred sticks. That's how they pay people like Five Finger Discount and me. I wonder if they might carry some pay data as well. Lots of executives commute to work and would use a secured card to transport any projects they want to work on from home. Prototypes, schematics, and other items of that nature. I'd love to get my hands on those things. Not to mention actual legitimate cargo. Corporations sell things after all. Most cargo comes in from the Pacific and they need to move some of it into the Diablo Valley to sell. Now let's see if I understand this question correctly. We should discuss who gets what share. I figured we'd each get an equal share, yeah? There's 6 of us, so that's a bit over 16% apiece. Doesn't sound like that much when you put it all that way, does it? Still, if the hole is big enough, that should be a lot. That seems fair to me. Rafik? Dorby? It'll be more new yen than I see in a year of legitimate wages, and more new yen than I see in a month of illegitimate gifts from my friends. I'm not picky. Dorby airily waves away the question. Numbers are overrated. I'll take whatever's coming to me. Let's, well, we started this to pay for my operation. If any money is left over, we can split whatever remains. After all, let's not stray too far from our original goal. Well, that doesn't seem very fair. You're the boss. Yes, it is a little selfish. But hey, I'm on the clock here. Now, how are we going to get the cargo off the train? You big strong man will carry it, right? Dorby grins impishly. Huh, I'd volunteer, but my back has been acting up. We could grab the cred sticks and run, but then we'd be missing out on most of the haul. That would be a waste. We need to get a vehicle in there to carry the loot out. You do know how trains and tunnels work, right? They kind of fill it. Can't drive a vehicle in while a goddamn train is on the tracks. How about one of those pretty drones of yours? Probably not. They can serve as tachocopters, but anything over 10 kilos and they'll start scraping the ground. What about this? Cora has been studying a map and points to a faint line adjacent to the Caldecott Tunnel. Is this another entrance? Oh yeah, the 5th bore. What's that? There are currently 4 bores that make up the Caldecott Tunnel. Each is wide enough for a single train. 2 run northeast, 2 southwest. Back in the 30s, congestion was getting bad, so Cal-Free started work on the 5th bore. It was intended for emergency overflows. Then there was the secession and the First Tier invasion, and the state went hella broke. They only finished the eastern half of it. They never broke through to the western side near the bay. That's how we'll get the cargo out. Yeah, now this I can work with. She examines the map, joining the excitement. Snap off a cargo car, bring it through one of the crosscut channels here, and hook it up to an engine waiting in the 5th bore. Then, choo-choo, motherfuckers! We haul ass out of here through an abandoned line that nobody's watching. It gets better. We can hook up to Haverville's tunnel system from that bore, lose any pursuers, and unload it at our leisure. An excellent plan. However, we won't have enough time to complete the robbery while in Caldecott. That's right. All that time we spent to secure the gauntlet, and each train zooms by in, what, a few seconds? Maglev trains accelerate quickly, so they're moving at top speed soon after they cross the bay. They slow down a tick before heading into the tunnel, but are probably still doing close to 600 clicks. Assuming they go through the 4th bore, they're only underground for about 2/3 of a mile. So we'll only have about 6 seconds to pull off the heist? That's insane. I like insanity, but I also like success. I don't see how this can be done. We'll need to stop the train while it's still in a tunnel. Call it a threat on the train. Easy enough. With the right story at the right time, we should be able to shut it down. We can't make it look obvious, though. If the train stops, that's one thing, but if they realize this is a robbery, we're in for a world of deep hurting. We need to make it look natural. And how do you propose we do that? Fake an earthquake? No. A guttural laugh begins bubbling up from deep within Dorby. You've never seen her quite this happy before. We're going to make an earthquake! The biggest explosion of all time! The thing I've dreamed of all my life. What do you have in mind? You can't be thinking of detonating a nuclear bomb or anything, are you? That wouldn't work. Not to mention be horrible. No, no bombs. Well, not until a magical one at the end. You folks ever heard of fracking? It's some really cool tech developed in the early part of this century. Great for creating microquakes and incidentally producing some oil as a byproduct. The key is to get a lot of wastewater injected deep into the Hayward Fault, conveniently located by the Caldecott, lube it up nice and good until it's loose, feeling frisky, then BAM! She whacks her hands together with great force and pleasure. Give it a little shove, feel the earth move under your feet, feel the sky tumbling down. A big quake could collapse the tunnel. Even a small one would instantly register in the regional seismic safety systems. Standard operating procedure is for all trains to immediately stop movement for any earthquake over 3.5 in the Richter scale. It's all automated. Rail officials need to come out and visually inspect the tracks before starting it up again. So where will we find the wastewater for this great plan? Lawrence Berkeley Lab has a ton of industrial waste these days. It's close by and we can probably find a way to tap it without anyone noticing. You guys lay the wick and I'll light the match. I'm starting to really like this job. Alright, let's summarize the plan. We'll get a few of our people onto the train before it leaves San Francisco, armed with access codes for the cargo car. Right before the train enters the Caldecott Tunnel, Dorby sets off her earthquake. I'm loving this plan. The train comes to a stop in the tunnel. We disconnect the entire cargo car, pilot it through an access channel, then hook it up to an engine in the 5th bore. Driven by yours truly, choo-choo. We haul on out of there, regroup back in Haverville, split up the loot, and celebrate a job well done. Any questions? Sounds good to me. I'll start looking at the Shiawase network operation immediately. We'll need to track down an engine for our getaway vehicle. Let me know when you want to go look for one. Holler if you need any help with getting the earthquake seated at Lawrence Berkeley, or just want a pyromaniac by your side. I can't wait. This is gonna be fun. Alright, Ocean's 11. Everyone is set, everyone is giddy, and everyone is good to go as far as we can tell. However, looking at the time, I do have a feeling that we'll need to call it in for tonight. It's all very exciting, but I gotta wake up tomorrow to wake up my mom. She's gonna need it. We can distribute karma a little after that. And by a little after that, I of course mean next week, but it should be good enough. We won't be forgetting any important details. And I hope you're enjoying the campaign developing as much as I do. But for now, thank you all for coming, and I will see you all next time. Good night, and peace out.